Yeah, Warriors, we're drinking it down. Raise your voices and stare at this town. We're the champions of craft beer sport. Tolkien audio, we hold down the fort.
You were at the Sens game Saturday night.
It's true, man. I was. I love it. I love a little live hockey, man. It's good times.
They take down Columbus. I imagine that's probably the last straw for Columbus. They've been struggling along.
Well, it certainly puts them in Ottawa's rear view.
Sure.
They're still within that because the Rangers...
Montreal's struggling hard too, although they're playing right now Sunday afternoon.
2-2 last I'd heard.
Yeah. But Ottawa's 8 points clear of the cutoff line. Like, I suppose anything's possible, but they're essentially home and cooled now.
The wins over the Wings and the Blue Jackets, dagger. For those two teams, at least in terms of catching
right.
Ottawa, right?
Yes. Which is really all anyone here cares about.
100%.
Like, go ahead, fuck around with the second wild card. We're done with this mess.
And the Rangers are in that spot tenuously, but they have 2 games more played than anybody else.
Yeah.
So it's really...
But Montreal's sputtering again a little bit.
It's actually, to me, it's the Islanders seem to be the most sort of...
Yeah.
What are you doing?
But when you were at the Sens game, you know, a lot of people happy to see... Batherson sort of, I've seen the suggestion, which you often see, and it's not an unfair statement, but the idea that when we got Cousins, we didn't just get Cousins, we got Batherson back too, right? Like there seems to be a little magic there.
It's like the Jensen Shabbat.
There you go.
2.0.
Yeah, we got Jensen, but we also got Shabbat doing his thing again, right? Are you seeing that? Like
I am 100% seeing that. And watching the game last night, there were probably 3 separate occasions where he drove hard, turned the corner on the defenseman to the net, which he's got great hands and he's a big guy, but you would see him move away from the net, right? Mm-hmm. Instead of making that turn to the corner. Like one time he took a plow right into the inboards, like right in front of me. And so you're just like, he wouldn't have done that. It just seems like he's in a spot now where... And I think even more than just the Cousins, it's a bit of the David Perron thing. Who, man, that guy, you just watch him, especially to watch him live along the boards. Like he's greasy and heavy on the puck. Like to me, he's an interesting guy to watch. Not flashy, not
right.
And we talked about it last year. I remember you saying last year you liked the signing, and I was like, well, and then through the first. Half to
more than that,
2/3 of the season, you're like, what have we done here, right? But to watch him play his game, especially live, to be able to watch and isolate him,
sure,
he's a nice. So to me, it's all 3 of them together more than we can just sort of tip the cap to the Dylan Cousins.
And it may be just coincidence timing wise, but it seems like Pinto's going again. A little bit, right? Like it sort of feels like right now the Sens are sort of clipping along here, and we've seen it, right? They've done the up and down thing. They've been a little streaky. Are you confident that the streakiness is out of them and that this is, maybe not exactly what they are, but this is close to the neighborhood that they're going to be in here down the stretch and into the playoffs, whoever they get?
No.
I'll say... And maybe it's easier for me from a distance a little bit because every fan's a little neurotic about their own. They seem to have settled down a little bit. The wild swings appear to be. Every team has like kind of a 3-game losing streak here, bounce back with 2 and an overtime loss. Like the big 6 losses in a row and then get hot for 9 and then lose 4 or whatever it's going to be. It feels like they've sort of found themselves a little bit, and I don't know if it's related or not, but I do feel like Cousins is fitting this mix a little better than Norris, and maybe it's nothing more than just confidence that guy's not going to go down every time he goes into the corner, right? Like, there's something to that. I think this guy's here, and he's locked in, and he's not going to disappear on us when we need him.
Well, that guy got a get-out-of-jail-free card. And I believe, We
call that a get-out-of-Buffalo free card.
Yeah, this is it. But that you have...
Same thing.
For a guy who has the talent he has, and I think maybe his offensive upside may not be where Norris is.
Sure.
I think that's possible.
Yep.
But I think I like the physical makeup and of Cousins just a little better, and the durability.
100%.
You cannot discount, like already Norris has missed 8 games
Yes.
for the Sabres.
Did you see? I know I sent it to you, so I won't ask. Did you see this little video clip that was going around last week from the Buffalo Sabres social media team? That teams are getting more and more open with this stuff. After the trade deadline, they sort of released this video of talking about their trade deadline day, and it was really interesting to me that Lindy Ruff in the Buffalo was the one who seemed to be focusing most on the chemistry part of it, the change of culture part of it.
Which Ottawa was also looking for.
100%. In slightly different spots, but both needing to change the mix here a little bit. And I wondered, just looking at it, I don't blame Lindy Ruff and the Sabres for wanting to change up their mix a little bit, but the fact that he was so focused on, like every time they would throw to him, and it's unfair because we only got the clips they showed us.
Edited, yes.
Yes. The change of culture. I wondered a little bit if there was something about Cousins that at least Lindy wasn't loving. Like, we've got to change our culture, so if that deal's on the table, do that deal. Like, he sort of kept harping on it. It's early days, but the guys here in Ottawa seem to have, rallied around it. Maybe I'm reading too much into it.
No. I think you're spot on. I think it is, and we were looking at it because to me, as a total outsider, and you look at how much apparently the guys in the change room love Norris.
Yeah.
The public facing side is he's very reserved. There's not a lot of exuberance or over the top. Like, yeah, man, we're fired up. And you sort of, that can sometimes be mistaken as indifference, right? From the outside.
I did a solo show last week talking about John Tavares saying how pissed off they are. I'm like, are you, John, though? Like,
I'm super pissed off. That's how it says.
Yeah. It's coming out. Okay, John.
Yeah.
Settle down.
Easy there. Step back.
Yeah.
And so, but that is the thing.
Doesn't mean it's not there, but that's not what he's showing the public, right?
Same you don't have a career like John Tavares without going,
I care a little.
Yeah,
right?
I got a little bit of give a fuck.
Yeah.
Right? Like
sure.
that happens. And so it's hard to say. And when you listen, just on the radio, you listen to Dylan Cousins, he kind of he sounds a bit like a 12-year-old boy. Right? Just like his voice is. He's always like, yeah, he's very agreeable kind of, and his voice it's a bit soft sounding, and you just sort of go, that could come across maybe in a room and especially where there's a lot of losing.
Yeah.
And Ottawa's had that.
Sure.
Like, he's arrived in Ottawa in a time where they've seemed to have turned the corner.
Yeah. On the come up.
But mid-season last year, it was actually Buffalo was a more envious place to be standings wise than it was here, right? You were like, so these guys, like Dylan Cousins had, the One World Juniors, he had 16 points.
Right.
The dude is talented. He's a big body. And I think when you talk about the Batherson thing, on a line with Perron, I just think an experienced guy like Perron could say, hey, man, like I think about the clip from maybe 2 years ago. Stutzla comes off and he's complaining about whatever, and he's lying behind the bench trying to stretch something out. And the clip is Giroux just leaning over going, get the fuck up. We're going tonight. And I think sometimes you just need somebody who's got a bit of that saying,
need a little Mongo.
Hey, man, guess what? This is happening.
Right.
We're doing this. Stop that. And so I just think he's come into a nice spot, and he has the personal chemistry with Drake that it sort of is a seamless
You never know
fit.
how that's going to go. Like, maybe it turns out he has better chemistry, whatever, with Brady or Giroux, or you never know how it's going to drop. But if he suddenly can go with Batherson, that's a second line. Like, we've talked about it so many times. We rarely see anymore lines clicked in for 82 games. We see pairs, and then who fits. If you can have a Cousins-Batherson pair that gets Batherson back to where he's supposed to be, it's huge for this team going forward, man.
And it's funny because you watched I'm sure you were preoccupied with Leafs Kings last night. You watched that game last night, and Columbus is a high-scoring team. Like, they're still a top 5 scoring team in the NHL.
Just got Monahan back, yeah.
You watch the game live, and to me, there's no doubt the most talented player, the most skilled player on the ice, Tim Stützle. Like, he pops unbelievably.
He pops. She pops. Oh, I'm sorry.
He pop, she
She
pop,
pop,
but
yeah.
we pop.
Yeah. Whoops.
Yeah. But so
Oh.
what you're drinking here, also from Merit,
Yep.
this is a Hug by a Century,
Ah.
5% lager. Nice little sort of to the small can, right? We
Yep.
we don't know where this is going to go.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Just to finish it off, just a little lager.
A hug by a century.
A Hug by a Century.
All right. Missy Gordy.
This is from me to you, Matt.
Oh, you've ruined it.
Yes, of course. So it's interesting though, because it's always been the Stützle-Tkachuk duo, as you've spoken of.
Yep.
And they've separated
They've
those two.
split them up, yeah.
And so it's interesting to see Greg scored and Pinto had 2 assists, and Greg had a goal and an assist. Tkachuk had 0 points. Stützle was everywhere last night, 0 points. So it's just interesting sometimes when you split those duos up, what the effect is. But yeah, to me,
Well, you almost got an inside look at who was actually pulling their weight there, or who was.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Not to suggest that,
and- well-
but Brady's hurt. Like, clear. And we should be careful here, because I've done this twice already in this show, saying last night. You, good listener, hearing this Monday, the Sens played Sunday night. We are referring to Saturday night. You and I have not yet seen the Sunday game. So I have set the table poorly here. But yeah, on Saturday night, Timmy was clearly all over the place.
Yes, sorry. True. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And I didn't PVR the game. Honestly, man. I will be leaving here.
Send that text, man. Get it done.
I will at the break. But it's interesting. And so just if I can digress just
Do
for
it. Do it,
one
man.
second here.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are hearing it first on the Tolkien audio podcast.
Yeah, well, the first is that I've asked.
Okay.
Fair?
Yeah.
Yes?
Sure.
Being at the game, and I've had, and I know we've had Alex Sens DJ
Yeah.
on here. He's been on the show.
Yep. Love his work.
I got a beef.
Oh, no.
I got a beef.
Okay.
And now, you know what?
Yeah.
I don't know if Alex is working Saturday night, because there seems to be, you go to games and there seems to be different vibes in the arena at different times. And maybe it's always Alex and he's just, this is what I'm feeling.
Weeknight requires this. And sometimes it's it's country night, or it's 90s night, or whatever's going on.
So I am somebody who shows up to the arena and I want to shout. I like to sing along with the tunes I like to sing along to.
So you were in the building Saturday night. JR tweeted this out. I was curious because you had said a couple of weeks ago you would hope to be the guy who started
Not me.
the We Want playoffs.
Yeah.
And it started on Saturday night, and then almost immediately Columbus dunked it into the net and went, you shut up for a minute. Right?
Okay. All right. And yes, that did happen.
Yeah.
It was 3-1.
Yeah,
And that
3-2 goal. Yeah.
That started across the ice for me. But so here's the deal.
Okay.
When you have, so for years, the last 7 years, there's been 13,000 people in the building, 14,000 people in the building, and it can be very empty sounding.
Sure.
Right? And so you need to pump up you need to fill that space with sound.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that is your in-house DJ, your in-house guy. He has to sort of mask that sort of really mausoleum sound.
Yeah. Which can be hard because sometimes the music echoes more in an empty
Yep.
place.
Yep.
It's
So-
not easy.
And I said it during the World Juniors, and I've said it through, I've probably been to 8 games this year, that the crowd now, especially later in the season, is fired up and engaged, right? Like it,
Sure.
it really
We got a good team. We're in this fucking thing.
And the Go Sens Go chants
Yeah.
starting early and loud, and so you got to take a step back. You have to pivot from where you have been in the past 6 or 7 years. Like I think about that. So there was a spot where that we want playoffs.
Yeah.
So even before that 3-2 goal, it started up and it was starting to get full-throated, and the DJ kicks into a song, like over top of it. And I can only assume, Matt, that as an in-house entertainment thing, you're trying to engage fans. You're trying to get fans activated. And if they're already fucking activated, you got to let that shit breathe.
I guess it depends on the moment. Are you headed to commercial on the TV side, which means you got to fire something up?
Sure.
I don't know. I wasn't in the house, right?
Yeah. But I've noticed this now, like I said, probably not including World Juniors. I've been to 8 Sens games this year.
Okay.
It is, you are talking about songs that will, that fans get involed in. So, hey,
anything, get people singing. Yeah.
Ooh. They waited till 4 minutes left in the third period to play that song. The fans got it going organically a couple of times, and then the DJ would play something over top of it.
I'll tell you when to sing.
Yeah, this is it. And heave away. A minute left in the game.
Yeah.
You got to lean into your country roads and your journey.
Sweet Escape.
All these things, man. But you instead they're playing some fucking house music and again, I am older. Mm-hmm. I'm not asking for play Foghat. That isn't what I'm at, man.
Do it though.
I get your Tate McRae's and your Chapel Roans. I understand all this. HOTTOGO.
Rob's part of the Pink Pony Club.
Yeah, this is it, man. I got all this. I'm willing to get behind whatever, but in-house production, let the fans do their thing. Don't step on the fans.
So I'm just curious, having seen this now play out for a couple of years, I think we talked, was it before Christmas the Leafs were here? Or January?
No, it was January.
And you had suggested that was one of the worst infiltrations of the Blue Menace that has ever happened in this building. Last year, we talked about this.
Blue Strife.
One of the 2 appearances by Toronto here was also... and look, there's always a certain amount of Toronto's going to get in. We will find our way in. But I'm curious, as we sit here right now, Florida has just lost to Montreal. We don't know yet how the Toronto-Anaheim game is going to go.
How it's going to go, Matt.
I have a feeling.
You want it to go one way?
I have a feeling I know how it's going to go. But more and more as we go, Toronto-Ottawa is at least on the table. We've talked about it a couple times, and it always felt kind of, maybe abstract. It's in the water. It is possible at this point. Are you concerned about, if this matchup happens, Toronto overrunning the building again, or once the playoffs come around, will Ottawa show out in a way that blocks the Blue Fever from... Look, we will be there a little bit.
I got a little Blue Fever.
But there'll be enough elbows up to keep the majority out, to stop it from being what it has been recently.
Yeah. To me, this is where, I think it was like a 65 Leaf 35 Sens fan the last time they were here. It was...
That was not just you. A lot of people saying, I've never seen it this bad.
Yeah.
Right? And this is with Ottawa on the rebound. It was just one of those nights when Toronto only comes once a year.
Well, and this
Can't get anybody to love you more than once a year. Hey-oh.
And you still got to pay exorbitant fees for that one time to happen.
I'm going to make this worthwhile.
Exactly. I've been saving all year.
And then didn't.
And it didn't. But that is also the plight of the Leaf fan.
Sure it is, man. Sure it is.
Oh, wait. Is that picture 10 years old? What are we doing here?
Good job, men.
I think this
What will it look like?
I think you'll see this is going to be, you'll limit Leaf fans to about 25% of your building.
Okay.
What you had back in January is what happens to a team with a low season ticket base.
Right.
Which, as good man Cyril Leader and Ian Mendez,
they're working on it.
Work on this and continue to build the season ticket base.
They're going to do the Jays thing. buy your season tickets for next year.
We've already seen it. I was at the game last night,
Get
and they're
your
pumping
playoff
that
tickets.
hard.
Yep.
And Cyril Leader was on local radio.
And why wouldn't you? Like, we're good now. Like, that would have been a tough sell a while ago.
100%. And so, to me, you will see much fewer Leaf fans in the building due to you are able to sell to season ticket holders now for playoffs.
Yeah.
And them saying, yeah, I want to see playoff games. And so I'm encouraged by that. And the reality is they've started to sell those tickets now to season ticket holders. They haven't opened up to public yet.
Yep.
And so Cyril was saying on Friday of last week that, yeah, a great number of those seats have already been snapped up for round one.
There you go.
So knowing that the Leaf fan hasn't had that opportunity yet. Yeah, of course you will. And there will be.
There'll be some. I think you're right. Somewhere around 25. Like, it is impossible, short of doing, like, remember a year or two ago, it was 2 years ago, the Florida Panthers, if you're a Canadian postal code, you couldn't buy tickets. And then Leaf fans still found their way. My Nana has a timeshare in Boca Vista. Or
Boca del Vista.
Yes, you can find your way. I don't expect, like, that doesn't work in Ottawa because I'll punch in my K2E and still go, thank you, right? Like, I live here.
There's a lot of,
this is what I'm saying.
This is
neutral, soft territory for Toronto and Montreal.
Yeah.
But Ottawa is fired up right now. Online, I'm looking at it. I've talked to our buddy Creech, the call-in. They're having to implement the delay a little bit. Like, fans are fired up after the games.
I was listening as I got in the car last night and driving home, and most of them I hate. I really don't want to hear the call-ins.
Almost never, but I'm with you. But
a Saturday night is a drunken.
It's a treat.
Post game.
I am sitting here in the back of an Uber. I'm going to call Creech and CJ and see what's going on.
Thanks for. It sounds like the end of this show. Actually, is what it sounds like.
So I don't know if this matchup is going to happen.
I want to see it.
I do too, more and more. I do too, because as a Leaf guy, this is
it's the best matchup for you.
On ice.
On ice.
Yes.
Of course
I agree with that. But this is the ultimate fuck off or do it. Right? Like, we got Marner unrestricted. Tavares is leading the league in goals in March. Like,
it's Montreal and Toronto.
I don't love that comparison. I don't really want to go down that road. But if you do this, like, you should be the big boy playoff. You know, we had to do Tampa. We had to do Florida. It's been hard, but we are playoff tested. We can slap those fuckers out.
Yep.
If those fuckers show up and go, hi, that thing you've been trying to do for 7 years, we are marching over you and doing it right now.
See ya.
Right. That is a game-changing franchise moment for Toronto that forces you to, well, in theory, make some tough decisions.
Look at Matt.
Yeah. So I am...
That's awareness right there, Matt. That is awareness right there.
Oh, I am aware of some of the issues with Toronto. But I'm... Let's do it. Let's just fucking do it. I'm ready to see it.
We going to get it on because we don't get along.
Love it.
Yeah, and so to me, it is the exact same thing, just on the opposite side, which is...
But the percentages for me, I'm with you. About 25 is right.
Yeah.
You can't keep them out completely. But it will not be the 50-50 that it's been.
And personally, I don't mind. Like, in a regular season game, when we see the Bruins here, you see about 3,000 Bruins fans.
Sure.
Like, there's a lot of Bruins, not as many but they're as an original six team.
Yep.
There is a lot of Bruins fans here as well. And so they seem to get the more expensive tickets. In the lower bowl, you seem to see a lot of yellow.
That earlier this year. I remember talking to Julian McKenzie and him looking down from the press box going, man, that lower bowl is pretty yellow.
And that's where it is. But see, the real fans, the working class up in the 300s.
Spitting on the...
Yeah.
Spitting down on
whatever. Depends on your fluid of choice. It is
stick in your face right in your popcorn.
Yes, God bless that little kid. That makes for nice good in arena atmosphere.
Yep.
When you have enough, but not too much, of a fan base for you to go.
Because in theory, if you beat them, you get to swarm them out of your building.
Well,
you fucking
at World Juniors, and it didn't happen.
It did not.
There were enough Americans that could be heard. but not enough to overpower.
Right.
And now it turns out they beat us.
Yeah.
So you're kind of left with like, I got not much to say.
I went to one in January, pre-pandemic, 2018, 2019, something like that, with my cousin, and we were walking out of the building. Leafs beat the Sens. It's a random game.
A
in January.
rarity here in town.
It has been, yeah. But it was thick that night, maybe 40% Leaf fans, something like that. But walking out, Sens fans are annoyed and pissed, and Leaf fans are giving it, this is our house.
Yep.
That's fun, right?
Of course
But
it
if
is.
there's 75 Ottawa, 25 Toronto, 80-20, whatever it is, and Ottawa wins that home game, you get to surround all those guys walking down that big staircase.
Yeah.
Shame.
Yeah.
Shame.
Ding-a-ling, shame. Well, and it's funny because being at the game on Saturday night, the crowd is super engaged. It's chanting, it's singing, and that's what it wants to do, man.
Sure,
it wants to be involved.
It's Saturday night.
And it started with Saturday
Thank you,
night,
baby.
and I like the way you move. Yeah. But honestly, top 5 pop from the crowd. Lyndon Slewage comes out to do the Canadian anthem.
Yeah.
The crowd was fired up, and I honestly, man, it's. But also in the top 5 was maybe early third period. The jumbotron pans to a little girl. She looked like maybe she was 5. She had little pigtails on both sides, and she holds
Double guns on.
she holds up a sign that says "Leafs suck," and the crowd went off like it was.
Yeah.
Was, and so to me, those things never stop. Now, just one more thing. You and I have been at a pile of different sporting events together. Mm-hmm. Everyone shits on the Wave.
Yep. That's me.
Nothing seems to unify a crowd. Like, even if you don't do it, like I don't get up. Now, I have been in a crowd with you where I do get up.
Where you do get up.
Yeah.
Almost to embarrass me.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I'm pointing at you. But, man, the sound in the arena on Saturday night when the Wave is going, like, you hear it's like
It was
this.
a 3-2 game.
I know, but it's
What
like
are you doing?
It's like this. It's this huge sound, man.
You're just
it's
begging for it, man.
But
we want playoffs.
Yeah.
Should score.
But it's the Wave, and it's this. It's just anything that gets the crowd engaged is what you're all. Anyways, I'm pro Wave.
Getting that.
I'm pro Wave.
I'm waving at it.
Yeah, waving it off.
Yep.
Yo, Warriors are drinking it down. Raise your voices and stare at this town. We're the champions.